Doing college football player props here on PrizePicks for Saturday, October 29th. Before I get started, there's a link in the description below to sign up for PrizePicks, or you can use promo code TUFF to sign up. PrizePicks will match 100% of your first deposit. There is also a Discord link in the description where we're building a super strong community, over 1,000 members strong now. As well as a Patreon link in the description below this video where I do post all the plays here I'm making on PrizePicks for each given sport, NFL, college football, and NFL player props on PrizePicks. Patreon last Saturday for college football, we went 10-6 on the day. Definitely some misses, just some close misses, but a lot of green as well. 10-6, I'll take it any day of the week in my opinion. 16 plays. Normally give around 15, or I normally give around 13 to 15 plays total on PrizePicks for Patreon on college football. But let's get into it, you guys. Saturday, October 29th here. Two plays that I like. Again, I'm not a gambling expert, not financial advice. These are simply just the plays I'm personally looking at making. Hopefully giving you guys some insight and analysis to make your own player props. But the first one I like here is going to be Raheem Sanders, running back for Arkansas. And I like his over 19.5 fantasy score here against Auburn. Now, Raheem Sanders has actually hit this 4 of his last 5 games. 37, 20, 23.5, and 29.9 fantasy points over his last 3 games. Arkansas had a bye last week, so they're definitely going to be very, very well rested for this, conference battle here against Auburn. Arkansas, definitely a conference battle that, a lot of people are going to be tuning into. This is a 9 a.m. game here. Raheem Sanders is the bell cow back for this Arkansas team. You can see 140 rushing attempts over the course of the year so far. Coming off a game where, Arkansas blew out BYU pretty much, had 175 and 2 touchdowns. Also getting significant receiving work. Has games of 75 yards receiving, 49 yards receiving already this season. Has 1 receiving touchdown. Again, these points here are PPR, so any receiving work does benefit the running backs greatly here. But 100 plus yards in 5 of his 7 games of the season, 86 in this game here, 86 in a tub. Just a complete monster, right? Complete backfield, complete running back out the backfield here. But I just love this play because of the matchup more specifically. So you can see here, the over-under is set at 60.5, so this should be a pretty high-scoring game. Arkansas is the favorite. This game is being played in Auburn. But Auburn giving up 204.4 yards rushing per game here. We can see that running backs last 2 games, right? Auburn played Ole Miss, and they had both running backs go crazy. Quishon Judkins had 139 and 2 touchdowns. Zach Evans had 136 and a touchdown. Even some receiving work for Zach Evans, had 23 yards receiving and a touchdown. And even Judkins had a receiving touchdown. So, if you take a look at that, both running backs of Ole Miss would clearly go over this 19.5 fantasy score, right? And then if you take a look here against Georgia, we saw Branson Robinson go 98 yards and a touchdown, and then the other running back have 83 yards and a touchdown as well. So both running backs here, very, very successful days against Auburn in this game. And just overall, right, all of college football here against running backs, Auburn right here, 218 fantasy points total. If we sort this by per game, the 3rd most fantasy points per game to running backs. We're looking at a player here that's gone over 19.5 4 times this season with the 3rd best possible matchup you can get in college football. Look at these other teams up here by Auburn, UNC Charlotte, Louisiana Monroe, Akron. These mid-major colleges, and Auburn, which is, perennial college football powerhouse here, number 3. So the 3rd best matchup a running back can have as far as fantasy score against the position goes. Raheem Sanders has hit this 4 of his last 5. All he needs is 19.60 at the over. Taking the over on this one, 9 a.m. game here. Raheem Sanders over 19.5 fantasy score against Auburn. Saturday, October 29th is going to be Devin Achane here against Mississippi Ole Miss, Texas A&M running back. I'm taking his over 19.5 fantasy score. So both these 19.5 fantasy scores, I'm taking the over here. Devin here has hit this 3 of his last 5 games this season. Had tough matchups here against Mississippi State and Bama, but has hit 28, 26, and 23 as 3 of his last 5. He is getting significant touches. He is the lead back in this backfield. 20 carries, 16, 16, 19, 18, and 18 carries here. Has a 159-yard rush game here. But I love his receiving work. Now, like I talked about in the previous prop, these points here are PPR. So he's getting 7, 6, 4, 4 receptions per game. Just alone here in receiving work, that's 12, that's 8 fantasy points right there just in receiving work. And in this matchup against Ole Miss, which I do expect Texas A&M to probably be trailing, have to keep up with the Ole Miss offense here. Over-under is at 55. This game is being played in Texas A&M, so definitely a little bit of advantage for Texas A&M here against Ole Miss, with Ole Miss still being the favorites. But I think Texas A&M going to have to throw the ball. Quarterback Haynes King is dealing with a shoulder injury, so I definitely expect quite a bit of checkdowns for him in this game to his running back, Devin Achane. Here we can see running backs previously against Ole Miss have done pretty successful recently. Josh Williams, running back LSU, had 17 carries for 76 yards, a touchdown, and also had 3 catches for 25 yards, which is a very, very decent fantasy line there. Auburn running back had 20 carries. Tank Bigsby had 20 carries for 179 yards and 2 touchdowns here. He also had no receptions, but still 179 for 2 touchdowns is clearly over 19.5 fantasy. And then running back Ray Davis right here for Vanderbilt had 105 yards rushing, a touchdown, so that's 16.5, and then another 4 receptions for 22 yards. So he hit 19.5 fantasy. So 3 of the last 3 running backs that have faced Ole Miss have gone over this 19.5, and I think talent-wise, Devin Achane is the best of those 3, or best of the 4. So we can see here receiving work has been prominent. I expect quite a bit of receiving work for him in this game. You could also take a look at 24.5 receiving yards, which I think could be a strong play as well. But I'm going to go with fantasy score here for Devin against Ole Miss. So Raheem Sanders over 19.5 fantasy, Devin Achane over 19.5 fantasy. Let me know how you guys feel about these 2 player props here on PrizePicks. Drop a like on this video, you guys. Hit that subscribe button. And as always, you guys have a great day, and let's cash.